The reading is from Matthew 16, verses 21 to 28. From that time on, Jesus began to show his disciples that he must go to Jerusalem and undergo great suffering at the hands of the elders and chief priests and scribes, and be killed, and on the third day be raised. And Peter took him aside and began to rebuke him, saying, God forbid it, Lord, this must never happen to you. But he turned and said to Peter, Get behind me, Satan. You are a stumbling block to me, for you are setting your mind not on divine things, but on human things. Then Jesus told his disciples, If any want to become my followers, let them deny themselves and take up their cross and follow me. For those who want to save their life will lose it, and those who lose their life for my sake will find it. For what will it profit them if they gain the whole world, but forfeit their life? Or what will they give in return for their life? For the Son of Man is to come with his angels in the glory of his Father, and then he will repay everyone for what has been done. Truly I tell you, there are some standing here who will not taste death before they see the Son of Man coming in his kingdom.
I still remember the day that he called me Satan. It was many years ago now, but it still sends a shiver down my spine. Things have been great. We travelled with Jesus and watched him wonder as he healed the sick, walked on the water, and fed thousands with just a few loaves and fish. We listened as he taught us so many wonderful and wise things. They were wonderful days, and we hoped they would never end. But they did end. They ended very suddenly. Jesus started telling us that he must go to Jerusalem, where he'd be killed. I just didn't understand how this could possibly happen. I thought surely when everybody found out that Jesus was the Messiah, they'd worship him and put him in charge. It just didn't make any sense for him to die. So I took Jesus to one side and told him that there must be a better way. And that's when he said it. He looked at me and said, Get behind me, Satan, and accused me of being a stumbling block. I didn't know what to say. I was shocked and hurt and confused. Jesus then told us that we must deny ourselves what we want and even give up our lives if that's what we need to do. And although he was talking to all of us, I felt he was explaining it to me. But I also wonder if perhaps he was reminding himself what he needed to do. Looking back, it all makes sense. I realise now that it's all part of God's wonderful, magnificent plan. It's clear that Jesus had to die so that the whole of mankind could have eternal life. Jesus had to die so that he could rise again from the dead and prove that what he said was true. As I look back on that day, it's not what Jesus said to me that sends a shiver down my spine. It's remembering that I tried to stop Jesus doing what had to be done. It's clear to me now that Satan had used me. But of course Jesus just saw straight through it. I understand now why he said what he did. I learned a very painful but valuable lesson that day. It's a lesson that's helped me through difficult times. Times when I recognised Satan tempting me to have an easy life. Times when Satan has created a stumbling block to trip me up on the path that Jesus called me to.